Today I want to talk about houseplants, babies, and pets. And I'm going to talk about that because many of our common houseplants are actually poisonous if ingested. So therein comes the babies and the pet situation. We do not want our human babies nor our pets messing around and accidentally ingesting one of these houseplants because they are toxic if ingested. There are some that are less toxic if ingested, and it's like a really easy Google search, so I'm not going to just tell you something that's really easy to Google. But just be mindful of that when you enter the hobby and if you have pets and or babies. And I have a personal story that was with my pet Freya. She's a corgi. And this Americana Sansevieria, which is part of the snake plant family. So she is beautiful, and we had an issue where my dog got into this plant. So right here, that's my dog's bite marks. Right there, you can see some leaf roughage. Let's see. That's pretty much it. That's all that's shown. But the story is, this is the mother plant right here, this big one. And then she had produced two pups. One pup here and then another pup that I had decided to propagate by division, i.e. I just took it out, separated it, put it in its own pot, and then put the mother and then the other pup right back in here. And for whatever reason, in retrospect, I have no idea why I did it. But at that time, I had a really valid reason. But yeah, just don't do this. Kids don't do that at home. I repotted it, and I put both the newly potted Sansevieria Americana on the floor. I'm sorry, Sansevieria Star Power. I mislabeled it. Sorry, Sansevieria Star Power. Anyways, I had put the Sansevieria Star Power, both of them on the floor, the new pup in its little pot, and then this one next to it. And I was going to go to some friend's house. Tony, my partner, was going to go to the movies, and we were going to leave our puppy Freya alone. And at that time, actually, she was so young that we still kept her in a little corral when we left. She was still house training and stuff like that. But we were like, we're going to leave her in a corral and it should be fine. But I was like, for whatever reason, I needed to leave them on the floor. I don't know why I just didn't pick it up, put them onto a table. But whatever, that was just that serious life decision I made at that moment. Anyways, so then Tony and I basically get home at the same time. And, you know, as life were to have it, Freya is not in her little corral area that we had blocked off for her. And you come inside this little living area and it looks like a plant murder scene. There's like potting soil everywhere. The first plant, the plant that I had repotted, she didn't really actually eat it. She just kind of chewed it up, and you could just tell it was everywhere. And then this one, she kind of messed with a good amount. I showed you just the wounds that she has, but not as much as the first one. So, of course, we were freaking out because I know this is toxic to dogs. And she was a small puppy at that time. So, and it was a Saturday night. We didn't get home too late. It was maybe, well, that's relative. It was maybe like 11 p.m. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do we do? So anyways, we ended up Googling it. And then I think it was the ASPCA. Or was it ASPCA? I think it was some big company that's an animal company. You can call them and talk to an emergency vet over the phone, and then they'll help diagnose you, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up calling, and we did a consultation, and the consultation, guys, cost $70, and it was a 5-minute phone call, maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. But they just went down a series of questions. They asked the specific plant and all the details on how she's acting. And actually she was acting totally fine and she was good. And they were like, you know, she probably really didn't ingest that much. But just keep an eye on her, you know, for 48 hours to check on her to see if anything's, you know, if she's acting weird, because it actually could be deadly, especially to a puppy that size. So of course we felt like horrible dog parents, horrible plant parents. I don't know why I made that decision. And usually, like, Tony is like my better half, and he'll be like, Jackie, this is not a wise decision. And I'm like, you know what? You're right, Tony. But I don't know. We weren't in our right minds at that night, and we were just trying to get out and do our thing, and we weren't going to be gone long, but it doesn't, you know, that's how it is. It doesn't take long for something to happen. So, anyways, everything turned out okay, but it was really, really, really scary, and I don't want any of you guys to go through that with any of your human babies, of course. Oh my gosh. And obviously your pets, and oh my gosh, it was so scary. And then after 48 hours, once everything like seemed totally fine with Freya, then of course I was upset about my plant babies. I was like, oh my gosh, I had done all the work to repot the new baby, and then like it was gone, and then the mother plant got injured, but she's thriving, she's doing well. It's been about, 7 months since this whole shenanigans happened. So anyways, that is all. It's just a reminder in everything that we do to be mindful and to notice your decisions and your choices. And when you are a caretaker for, another human life, another plant life, and just a caretaker for yourself or for your pets or whatever, just be mindful in your choices. So that's all that I have to say today. It's just sharing my story so you can learn from it and you don't have to do it the hard way like I did. So from my heart to yours, I'm sending you L.O.V.E with an exclamation mark. Ciao.